With some of the paintings I find, the valuation has to be estimated because there are no auction results, much to the dismay of some of my viewers. Because the artist has little or no auction history. But that's not the case here. This one is different. I knew at Consignment Classics that this painting was a Fritz Halberg-Krauss, dated 1916, and Halberg-Krauss has an extensive auction record. More than 900 auction results can be found online. So we have a basis to work from, and the size of the painting is very important. The condition is good, the size is very important. This is an exhibition size painting. This would be the main piece of an artist's exhibition. So the valuation is going to be much better than otherwise if it was just one of his regular smaller paintings. This painting is signed and dated München, 1916. It measures 190 by 120 centimeters, or roughly 36 by 48 inches, a large exhibition scale canvas for its period. Halberg-Krauss was born in 1874 and exhibited regularly at Munich's important Glaspalast exhibitions. His paintings are known for their quiet, atmospheric landscapes. And while the First World War was raging across Europe, he painted this peaceful snow-covered road disappearing into the Bavarian countryside. He continued to exhibit during the Nazi era, and historical records show that Adolf Hitler bought 3 of his paintings. That is a fact worth acknowledging, but it does not by itself make Halberg-Krauss a Nazi sympathizer. Hitler bought many paintings, and a sale to Hitler is not evidence of an artist's personal political beliefs. The market for Halberg-Krauss is well established. I found auction houses in Europe that regularly handle and are seeking his work. And there's meaningful evidence of demand at the upper end of that market. A Bavarian summer landscape with huntsmen sold through Lempertz for 3,360 euros, including buyer's premium. The scale of this painting matters. Halberg-Krauss painted many smaller landscapes, but large canvases such as this, 190 by 120 centimeter work, are much less common. This example also appears to retain its original period frame, along with the Leipzig supplier's label on the stretcher. The frame needs professional restoration, but is part of the painting's history and should be preserved. So this is not a case of trying to invent a market for an unknown artist. The market is already there. The question is where this particular painting sits within it. Its exceptional scale, its condition, its 1916 date, and its original presentation. After more than a century, 2 world wars, and a journey across the ocean, it eventually turned up in an antique mall in Encinitas, California. Charlie's joined us for the valuation again, as he likes to. The frame to the painting has significant damage to the gesso along the top and along the bottom. But assuming that the frame was professionally restored, I would estimate the value of this painting at auction to be between $5,000 and $7,000. And in a retail gallery setting, I would put it much higher, perhaps $10,000 to $12,000. And there's a reason for that. In earlier videos, I've spoken about gallery overhead and costs and how they have to sell paintings for more money than an auction house would. But there's another factor at play. What most people don't realize is that galleries themselves buy a lot of paintings at auctions. They're probably the biggest category of bidders at an auction. And they treat the auction house as a wholesale supplier for their inventory for their gallery. So they buy it at the, let's say, the appraised auction value or the realized auction value of $5,000 and they take it back to their gallery. They might clean it up if it needed to be cleaned up, and they sell it for 10 or 12. So that's why there's a big difference. Auctions can be considered the wholesale price. Galleries can be considered the retail price. Now there's one more aspect to this, and that's insurance valuation. And that one's going to be pretty difficult in this case, because in my estimation, when we did the research, I saw very little paintings of Halberg-Krauss that were this size. I think there might be one other of all those 900 auction results that was this size. So this would be almost impossible to replace. And for that reason, the insurance company would just have to write you a check. And I think that check would be in the neighborhood of $15,000 because this painting is so rare. Do you agree? All right. Say happy hunting. Good boy. People often ask me if the paintings that I discover are available for sale. And we've decided to make some of them available to you. And we think that the best way and fairest way to do that is through online auctions. Whenever a new auction opens, we'll notify my insider list first. If you want to be an insider and be notified, simply visit johnsumner.com/insider and sign up. It's free. You never know. The next hidden masterpiece could be yours. If you watch this video all the way to the end, you're the person who I wrote my book for, A No-Nonsense Guide to Buying Art. You can find it in the link in the description below. Happy hunting. If you'd like to go deeper than what I share here on YouTube, visit johnsumner.com/insider. Join my email list and I'll share upcoming projects with you and private releases before they're announced publicly. johnsumner.com/insider.